All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing today? Hopefully we're good. Hold on, just getting a little set up. I had a pretty busy day today. Okay, there we go. So I'm just just getting a little set up right now. I'm good to go though. How's everyone doing? Also, I moved my setup around a little bit. You guys will see a change in a few, but I got to remember that usually you guys chat messages are off to my left. Now they're directly ahead of me. So no muscle, how are you doing tonight? Congratulations on being first. Welcome to the stream. I think you may have asked, someone asked about the I closed the window, but someone asked about the first Decoded session. It is live right now. As soon as someone posted that, I went and checked. I was like, ooh, that was supposed to go live. I scheduled it to go live, but I actually scheduled it to go live today at 7 instead of yesterday at 7. And so I just pushed the button to make it go live. It's live. The playlist is live, so you can see that as well. So yeah, that should be up for that now. Sammy X forever. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry. What's up, Bert the Maker? Good to see you. How are you doing tonight? YGBSM, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. 4 months. That's a lot of time spent here with me. On time crew, for sure. Thank you so much. Really exciting to have gone full time, but I will say this has been an incredibly busy week. I was super excited to, I've been busy, but it's interesting having time to focus, 100% on my business, but my business has a bunch of different pieces to it. So it's been interesting trying to play around, and figure out where to put time and when. But yeah, I'm learning, and it's been a very productive week, an extremely productive week. I made a lot of amazing connections already, so I'm really excited about it. What's up, El Aone? I'm gonna try that out every time. Hello, how are you doing tonight? Good to have you. No Muscles, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Good to have you. I'm glad everyone's here. Love the new site. I have a new site. I don't know if I have a new site. Maybe you went to the Notion page or something, but yeah, tonight, welcome back to Decoded, night 2 of 16. You are almost, I don't know how to do math, but what is that? You're almost, 25% of the way through. No, that would be, yeah, you are. You're actually, no, after 4 weeks. Okay, well, you're half of that. Okay, so you're, 12.5% of the way through your journey, or you will be after tonight. What's up, CLD? Good to have you. But yeah, tonight we're going to learn how, we're going to learn a little bit about CLI applications and how to build them. So tonight's going to be probably the most free-flowing of the classes. Why is it going to be the most free-flowing? Because CLI apps is a very, the topic itself is not a big deal. It's a pretty simple thing to understand what they are, why you would want to use them. You've used them before, you're going to use them, throughout your entire career, but building them is very different in each language. There's different, pluses and minuses depending on what you decide to go with. And so we're going to talk about some of that stuff tonight, but we're going to build something together. The thing that we're also going to build, it's also going to open the door for you to build whatever you want using the CLI app. So I'm excited to see what you all build. I'm going to build I have some ideas of some stuff that I want to do with it, actually. But first off, dope. I'm glad we got the hype train level 1 going. I do appreciate it. All the subs, the She-Boss coming in hot, coming in on time with the gifted sub. Thank you so much. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great evening. Time from work. How are you doing tonight as well? So, here's what you will see that is a little bit different. Someone let me know if you can see immediately what is different. We'll hit this right here. Oh, so different background than you've seen before, but this should look a little different to you and maybe a little more at home for some of you from where we've come from. I did go back to the System 76 laptop. So we are back to Linux. Let me tell you why we are back to Linux. I said that I was probably going to go back to Pop! OS, probably going to go back to Linux. Honestly, the only reason I hadn't yet is one, I was just trying out WSL2, which I think is phenomenal. This has nothing to do with that. The thing that kept me from coming back to using this was the setup was just easier because I stream from my Windows desktop. It was just easier working off of that. But today, earlier today, I was like, man, I haven't looked at, so this curriculum was done first. This curriculum was done before the pipelines curriculum, and I spent a lot of time with the pipelines curriculum after because I wanted to run all this a little bit earlier. So I actually haven't touched a lot of the stuff that's here. What just happened? Oh, that was just the music. Sorry, I thought my computer crashed. It was really weird. In a while. So I hadn't touched this in a while. So I hopped in, like I was like, oh, let me like actually look at what we're supposed to be doing tonight. And I went and I was gonna run something because I hadn't touched the CLI app that I planned for us to build. I hadn't touched any of it in a long time, and like I hadn't messed with this. We're gonna be building it in Python today. We'll do a little bit with Bash as well, and we can probably try with something else as well if we have time. But I hopped in and I started to do some stuff with pip, and I had all kinds of issues with WSL2 and pip. I was getting some SSL issues, and I was getting some missing packages or packages that had been upgraded but were not symlinked properly, and I didn't feel like dealing with it. So I haven't even this computer, I plugged it in not that long ago into my capture card, and this is what we are going to be using from now on. So it's going to be pretty cool. Let's see, what desktop environment is this? It is in fact GNOME, which I really like a lot. GNOME has a big release coming out pretty soon, but yeah, that I want to check out. Let's see, where do you get those backgrounds from? I got this background from DeviantArt. I think there's a website called DeviantArt, and I don't want to give you guys, I don't want to give you all the goods away. Close up to the right. Let's see. DeviantArt. I can't see my keyboard, which is annoying, but it's probably for the best. This is where I get some of the stuff from. I get them from all kinds of places. I get it from all over the web, but I got this one from DeviantArt. It's called Disco Dingo, I believe. I'm gonna Google this, assuming nothing bad is gonna come up. But yeah, I think you just Google Disco Dingo and you will find this. Ooh, this looks like it's a higher res wallpaper than the one I have now, and I'm gonna take this because I think mine, yeah, this is what happened last time. It says it was 1080p and then it was only 300 by 168. Okay, well, that's what we have, and that's what it is. The only Linux I got at the moment is WSL2. Not a problem. Keep WSL2. WSL2 is great. I really do love it. It should work fine. I think it might have been an issue with my installation. I just didn't want to fight with it today or for the foreseeable future. I mean, you know, what do? We made the dog cooler. The dog's got tattoos now. The dog has a pair of headphones to listen to lots of cool doggy music. So that's what we did. And again, thank you so much for the hype train, everybody. Toasted Zergling, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Thank you for the gifted subs, everyone. Thank you for the subs. I do appreciate it. What's up, Harold of the Rocks? How are you doing? Yes, no muscles. That will 100% work for what we're doing. 100%. It'll work. Okay, so let's hop into it. Let me pull up the slides really quick. There are very few slides tonight, which is nice. I like nights that we don't have to go over too many slides. And I'll also say that I'm ecstatic. Let me move this really quick. Oh, look at them ashy elbows. Oh man, this is what happens when you are working from home. I didn't go into the office today. You just don't care about those elbows, you see? Oh, that's not good. Oh, look at that one. See, my elbows are like scarred up from like football practice and planks and all that other stuff. But you know, you gotta keep them moisturized. You gotta keep them good. I am unemployed now, but I do have an office. I have my own office, but I am unemployed. I'm self-employed, okay? I'm not unemployed. I'm self-employed. So yeah. Let's see. So going through YouTube Decoded for May. Do you think I'll be lost in this class? No, actually, I think it'll provide some more context. We're not going to be, I mean, I don't think you're going to be any more lost here. We are going to be working on some more advanced concepts. So yeah, maybe there'll be spots where you're more lost, but I think you'll still be able to get a lot out of this. And yes, I am doing well tonight. Letters from the multiverse, and appreciate that, OG Jake. I really do. It is like I said, already been fun in the first week. A lot of stuff going on already in the first week. Like I said, I went through that incubator, so I have some support, and I have people helping me do some things, and so there's a lot that I'm working on right now. A lot of, you know, a whole bunch of stuff, and it's just been, you know, constant left and right. I do enjoy it though. I really do love that. It's just sometimes like sorry to the rest of my business, but this is my favorite. Like, this is just fun to me. This is fun to hang out with you guys and just, I don't know, get to code actually. So I'm very excited about Decoded because I'll actually get to code again. I haven't been coding that much in a while, so this is going to be pretty fun. So, you know, we're gonna start off the night a little bit rusty, but it's okay. We're gonna you get that we're not doing rust tonight, but we're gonna start out a little bit rusty. But we'll get into it and it'll be great. Let me get you the slides. Share. Already changed to anyone. Copy link. How do I get into the chat here? I think that's why I put that there. Let's do exclamation point slides. Edit. I never remember. I do it every day. Slides and paste it in there. So there it goes. Now you can click on that and you can type in exclamation point slides. Let's also get it in the Notion on the website so people can click on it. Let's see, Google login. Let's get logged back in. I haven't used this laptop in a while, so I'm probably logged out there. Whack. Hold on. You know, we do secure passwords over here, and so I don't actually know my password, but you know, we use this. I can go to recently used Gmail, copy password. This way, you know, I'm still safe. I'm still safe over here. You guys can't see my password. I can paste it on in there. Ooh, hype train success. First off, thank you so much for that. That was exciting. The music is adding to the hype train a little bit for me. It's kind of, you know, a lot of colors and things on the screen. I do appreciate it. Appreciate the support, everybody. Okay, so let's get this added on to Decoded and not Pipelines. And this one, and let's scroll to the bottom. The one problem with this laptop, the one thing I dislike about this laptop is the trackpad. And right now, when I used to do this, when I had the setup, I had a KVM switch, so I would press the button and then my keyboard and mouse would go over to my laptop, and I would actually have the laptop on my screen right in front of me. I don't have that right now. Right now, I'm literally have the laptop sitting right in front of me on the table, and like my desk is already like cluttered with just all the Go XLR and everything. So a little bit weird right now. And like I said, this touchpad is kind of whack. So I might be messing up a little bit here, but there we know. Let's see. Where'd it go? Let's copy the link again. Let's get back over here. There we go. All right, so now it's on the website as well. So if anyone needs it, they can grab it from academy.mastermind.io/decoded, and you can go ahead and you can get those slides. So real simple tonight. Yep, KVM switches are good. They're nice. I like them. I'm really, first off, if anyone is just, you know, a systems whiz, or just like has an eye for like, I don't know, like setups, like I'm really trying to figure out a good way to do this. I don't want to work off the laptop. I want to leave the laptop closed under the desk, but you know, using the KVM switch, I want to be able to control it. I want to be able to use one of my monitors, but like, I don't know, it's just gonna be weird, like controlling two computers at once for the stream. Like, it's gonna be odd. I'll figure it out, but if anyone knows of any good setups for this, it's gonna be great. What's up, Famomo? How are you doing? Long time. Absolutely. All is well. Can't complain at all. Life is pretty good right now. Busy, but good. Busy is better than anything else. I don't know what NX is. Docking station, maybe. Oh, so what I was doing before was, what's it called? What was I using? You all know what I was using. You don't know what I was using, but someone knows. Let me look at my apps really quick. I was using, let me look through here. I don't see it. I was using a server. I was using, Synergy. I was using Synergy, and Synergy worked pretty well. Actually, Synergy worked pretty well. But when it didn't work, it was super frustrating, but it did work pretty well. Maybe I'll try my Synergy setup again. All right. There's a lot of like Fusion Synergy things, but like they all work on Mac and Windows, and Synergy was the only one I found that worked with Linux. All right, so day 2, Decoder, the journey into software engineering and computer science, day 2 of 6. Let's talk about it. Today, the only thing we're doing to kind of get ourselves into it is the CLI stuffs. And like I said, probably for the rest of this course, besides maybe the database time, we're not going to spend a ton of time in slides for these courses. We're going to spend a lot of time building things, and should be pretty fun. But today's only CLI stuffs. Why only CLI stuffs today? Just like I told people during the DevOps course, week 1, you know, don't want to throw too much at you week 1, and want to give you some time to, you know, take this, you know, synthesize it, chew on it a little bit, take in what we've kind of learned first week, and get ready for week 2, because I think week 2 has a lot more difficult things in it, so it should be pretty exciting. All right, show yesterday's material. I don't think so. Oh, did I post the wrong link? It shouldn't show yesterday's material. Or did the slides command not update properly? Let's see. Let me click on. Oh yeah, that's super weird. Okay, not present. Hold on, share. Let's do it again. Let me grab the link. Copy link. Here we go. So here's I'm gonna paste in the link. That link should be different. Does that look different? It does look different. And I'll update slides command, slides, edit, slides. Oh, that's what happened. I did this and not commands. Okay, that makes sense. Edit slides. I probably should have read the error, but I didn't. Thanks for calling that out. Now you should be able to do the exclamation point slides command. CLI is command line. What's the I for? The I is for interface. So we can start right there. What is the CLI? The I stands for command line interface. So there are 2 different types of interfaces for computers. Well, common types of interfaces for computers. There are more interfaces for computers. Very non-standard, but there are 2 main ones that you use on a daily basis. Maybe not this one, but that you will use as you further your career. But CLI is a command line interface. It basically processes commands to a computer in the form of lines of text. And just I put it there at the bottom, server Linux. Just think about server Linux. Yeah, it is so a computer, you know, the hardware, it's got software installed on it, and the command line interface is a way to interact with that. The command line interface is a way for you to issue commands to the computer. The computer will interpret those commands and perform an action. You can do everything on your computer from the command line. Anything you want to do, you can in fact do from the command line. The other type of interface, which I did not include here, is a graphical user interface. That's what you're looking at now. So in Windows, when you click on those buttons, or Mac, the things that you can see are graphical user interfaces. CLIs are the command line interface. So think your terminal. Let's see. So think your terminal, where you are only interacting with the computer via text. So you are issuing commands via text. You are getting information via text. So that's all the command line is. All it is. Let's see, is Node.js an example? So you can use Node.js from the command line. Node.js itself is not a command line interface, but Node.js is a tool that you can use from the command line, from a command line interface. I can't play Call of Duty from the command line interface. So you can, there's probably someone who can enable this. It will not have the same graphics, but you can play it. It just won't be the same way that you're used to interacting with a game, but you can play. You can definitely play. So you can do a lot of cool, you can definitely do a lot of cool stuff for sure. And so, you know, if you aren't super well versed in the command line, you aren't very well versed in the command line, not a huge deal for today. but it is something that I would advise you taking some time to kind of, get up to speed on, get your basics down, understand how to navigate properly. Really once you understand like the directory structure and how to navigate, from there, it's usually pretty easy. You just over time, you'll pick up little tools and things as you kind of need them. So I wouldn't spend a bunch of time trying to memorize all these commands and stuff. Not important, because like you're gonna see today, people just create things, and so you can't just memorize all of them because people just create new tools and things for you to use. And so you'll start to see that there's some continuity in how you use these things. There's similarities in how you use these things. These tools don't differ vastly, so it should be pretty easy to do. So why the CLI? You say, hey, I'm used to my graphics, I'm used to my graphical interfaces. Why the heck would I do anything from the CLI or the command line interface? These are just some of the reasons. There are probably 10 more reasons we can talk about, but one, faster development. Why is it faster development? Because any graphical user interface application you want to use, it's got the same code that it has code that does the things that we need to do, but on top of that, it has more code to be able to display these things to you in a pretty way. So even more code. So this allows you to hop in and do it faster because you literally don't have any display to have to code. Faster execution, and this is there's a little star by this, but faster execution. The execution of the code is faster. Why is it faster? Because the computer doesn't have to do any processing of any of that interface, of that external interface. And so this may be a negligent thing, but for a lot of things, this can be faster. And then it enables easier automation of tasks. This is, to me, is the biggest one. Why would you want to go with the command line tool? Because this now means you can automate things. You now can use scripts and programs to be able to more easily automate what's going on and make your life a lot easier. These are kind of just 3 quick ones. There's a lot of advantages to CLI applications. That's the reason why people still do tons of things from the CLI, because GUIs are heavy. Graphical user interfaces are heavy, and you don't have to design anything, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about that user experience quite as much, or you do, but in a different way. So yeah, these are just some of the reasons why you might want to build or use a CLI app. And basically all the best tools are CLI apps, to be honest. All right, arguments. We're just going to dive in a little bit. We've talked about this in the Linux course, and we're very light on this topic. I just want to introduce you to 1 or 2 concepts. We are not going to get crazy deep tonight because we are not going to have much time to get crazy deep, but you need to know about options or arguments or flags. People use these almost interchangeably when there are nuanced differences between these. We can talk about that a little bit, but they can be passed into a command line application. So a command line application, you from the command line, you basically run an application, a tool, whatever it is, and to modify what happens in that command, you can pass it some more information. You can pass it some additional text to be able to get it to do what you want it to do, and that's what these arguments or flags are. You can pass them in at runtime, so you pass them in when you're running the application, so they don't need to be built into the application. They just need to be built in the application in the sense that the application needs to know what to do when someone passes these things in, but people can kind of pass it whenever they want to when the application runs. Sometimes though, these options are positional parameters. I left this in here. I was going to pull it, but I left it in here because I think we should do some bash stuff to start. And this means that the location of the argument matters. So if you are familiar with arrays or you're familiar with zero indexing, Bash and a couple other languages and things have the ability to use arguments that are passed in by their position. So you'll start a program up and then maybe you'll give it 3 different options. You'll give it 3 different arguments. And so the position of those arguments will determine what the application does with it. So if let's say in an application, you put something where there needed to be a parameter that was true or false. You need to tell someone if they should turn something on or off. Maybe you had one that maybe the next one was going to be your name and the next one was going to be, you know, your address or something. I don't know, who knows. But it's for positional parameters, these must be in that order or else they will not work. They must be in the exact right spot. And again, they are 0 indexed in bash at least. So the first one is actually 0. Second one is 1. Oh, actually, no, they're not in bash. They're not. It's 1, 2. It starts at 1 in bash actually. But for some other things, it starts at 0 index. So that's arguments. If you want to modify, these are great because this allows you to extend the functionality of your application. So maybe you wrote an application that gives you today's weather, but maybe you don't want to, maybe you want to check the weather for a different zip code or something. Maybe you're running an app, it finds out where you are and it gives you the weather for today in your area. And you say, hey, actually, I want people to be able to find out the weather for anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow them to pass in a zip code argument. And when they run the application, they can pass in a zip code, and that will change the processing and what my actual tool does. So yes, that is what you would do with an argument or flag. Generally flags, so flags are arguments, but generally flags are referencing Boolean values, so something that can be true or false. Again, people talk about these in different ways. If you know of any other nomenclature or why that may be right or wrong or what flags were intended to be, let me know. But what I'm familiar with is that flags generally were intended to be arguments that were Boolean values. So you basically just flip it on or off, and arguments can kind of be arguments or options could be, you know, anything else. All right, so help. Let's talk about help a little bit. Since CLI tools don't have a graphical user interface, there needs to be a way for us to provide some insight on how to use the tool. You know, you get a tool, yeah, there may be documentation, but it's, you know, it really sucks if you got to keep going back to the internet and pulling up documentation for people to be able to use what you wrote. Yes, there are readmes and stuff, but CLI tools generally have some way for you to get some help so that you understand how to use this application. So there might be a man page, yes, but I think we were doing this the other day. Maybe we were doing this in pipelines, I'm not sure, but generally you can type in like a -- help after a command, and it will advise you on ways that you can use it. And you can go a little bit further for, you know, deeper commands. You know, you can type those things out and get some help. So we just want to talk about that because we are going to do a little bit with help tonight as well, making sure that we, you know, can let people know how to use our application or whatever application we are going to try to make. Yeah. And so after that, that might be the last one. Yeah, that's it. And that's the last slide that we want to talk about. Now, let's talk about the creation of these things. I didn't think this warranted a slide. I thought this would be better if we started to dive into the actual CLI and start talking about these things. So I'm going to CD into, I'm going to make a new directory here. I'm going to call this new directory. What is this? This is, oh, it's already decoded. Now let's make a new directory. Let's call this decoded journeyman. All right. I need to change my flags here because I hate that I need to put on case sensitivity into my ZSHRC because that bothers me a lot. So okay, here we go. What do we want to do first? Command line applications. So if you've been here, a command line application is simply something like ls. Oh, there's nothing in here, so let me go back. When you run that ls command, this is in fact a command line application. Absolutely a command line application, and what it does is it lists out the things that are here. You might say, what? That is a, that's just, that's a Linux command. Yeah, it is. And its application is written in C. So that's the programming language it's written in. You can write command line applications in just about any language. Yeah, and it's written in C. It's part of the core utilities. And so when we talked about those positional parameters or those flags, so first flags, when you see me type in like ls-la, I am passing in these arguments that change the way, or these flags that change the way that this command operates. So now if I do ls-la, you can see that the output is completely different. If you're not familiar with the ls command, that -l takes it from a regular listing to a long listing. So in this format where it has, you know, these are Linux permissions over here, these are users and groups, so you have a lot of information about that stuff. The -a says show me everything, show me all files, hidden files and regular files. So in Linux, hidden files start with the period there, so this is a hidden file. So if I do this again without the a, you will see that themes is not something that shows in this list. Not super important for this, but just letting you know, just giving you little tidbits as we kind of get to different pieces. But great. This is a command line application. It also has some help. ls-help. And look at that. It lets us know how to do certain things. It gives us some help on what's going on. And so this may look like the man page to you. A lot of the help might be the man page, depending on how this thing was built. And yeah, that's you know, that is a command line application. There are many of them. You know, even when we are running JavaScript, even if we want to, you know, drop into Python. Want to drop into Python 3, this Python interpreter is a command line application. This interpreter is a command line application, and you know, we can interact with it here via text. So it runs here on the command line, and you can do everything that you want to do inside of it. So we are basically going to learn how to create a tool like this that you can use right from the command line. There's like 4 different ways you can do this. We're gonna start from the easiest way and move up to the hardest way. Uber King Kong, I am on Pop OS. So yes, so PowerShell, ls, I think ls does work on PowerShell, but on command prompt it doesn't. For Windows, I think the command that you're looking for is dir, dir, if you want to list out what's there, but I do think ls works in PowerShell. So that directory, you didn't need to copy and make that directory. I just made that directory for what we're going to do right now. I actually have a repository for you all to clone to make it a little bit easier. You have 2 options. There's some basically, the first things we're going to do something really quick with like Linux commands really quick, just to show you that we're going to do a super basic Python one. Or JavaScript or whatever, and then we're going to do the real Python command line application, and just so you can see kind of the different approaches you can take to this. So for the hard part, for the last part, I will have a repository for you so that you don't have to do any of the boilerplate code, and to set you up in the future to kind of build it out how you want. But you can put a directory wherever you want to put it. Doesn't really matter. You can operate anywhere you want to on your computer. All right, what's up, No Peace? Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Also, CRZY Ruski, welcome to the channel. Good to have you. Thank you so much for the follow. All right, so I didn't mean to do that. What's up, Smooth 5M? Thank you so much for the follow as well. I keep forgetting that I'm not using my mouse for this. Let's actually move this down a screen. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what's up, Hi Patrick? Oh, host of one viewer, welcome to the channel today. Good to see you today, Hi Patrick. Thank you so much. All right, so first things we're gonna do, you might say, cool, it sounds like we could this command, couldn't we just write a bash application that could do this? Yes, you could. You could write a bash application that could do this, that you could turn into a command line application like this. But I want to be clear, because I think that was my first question. I was like, oh, like, why could you use bash to do all the things? And like, yeah, makes sense. That is true. You can do that for a lot of things that you might want to do. You could probably set this up via bash. But bash is an interpreter. Bash is a Linux interpreter, and you are confined to to the tools and things that are already created that Bash can interpret, for Bash to interpret, to be able to build what you want. Now, that's probably fine for 99% of anything that we would ever want to do. Completely fine for everything that we want to do. I doubt there's that many tools that you wouldn't be able to do with Bash if you really want to use Bash. You could probably just use Bash to do it. But different coding languages present different benefits. Almost all these applications that you're using, all these commands, ping, all this stuff, these are all compiled via C. They're all written in C. Just about. And so that's the, that C kind of builds up everything. And so a lot of things are built with things like this, which allow you to kind of get closer to the system than Bash. And so if you need to do anything crazy, you're gonna have to use a lower level language than Bash, like that, or Rust. But yeah, let's hop into a Bash script really quick. Let's go back into, what did I call it? I can't see my keyboard, so I'm gonna just try not to look at it. There we go. Oh no, caps lock is on. Okay, so I'm gonna make a file here. I'm going to make a file called, I'm gonna call it our app.sh. So .sh is the extension for a Bash script, or a shell script, something that's readable by the shell, and hit enter. Now, if you are on VS Code or something, you can type in code our app.sh, or you can just open up VS Code and create a file. However you want to create a file. So you could do this as well, but we are not using VS Code here. Also, I don't know if anyone saw on Twitter, but I now have access to GitHub code spaces. So we will do something with code spaces throughout this course. Now I'll do something in there to see kind of how it works. I just want to take a couple of days to figure it out, to figure out there's definitely some intricate things I'm looking to see. So touch our app.sh works. So I can do that here as well. So what touch does is touch creates an empty file. So I could do our app.sh. Absolutely. You could do that. And now this file does exist, but you still have to open it up somewhere, CLD. So yes, you can do that, but now you got to open it up somewhere. And so, like I said, if you're using VS Code, you can probably type in code on a Mac. I'm not sure the code command works by default. It might be something you have to enable, but if not, just open up VS Code and then go into file, open file, and then find wherever your file is and open it up like you were going to do something in Microsoft Office or something, and open up that file. Or everyone's got their ways of creating their files. So I'm gonna vim our app.sh, and I don't know what do we want to do with this. I really just wanted to do this piece to show you the positional parameters, and because this is closest to what you're already doing on the command line, I was going to do something with that. So maybe let's say let's do this. Let's give maybe this application, I'm really coming up with this on the spot, is maybe this application is going to be a systems report. So let's do this. First, let's give it a shebang. So at the very top of the command, we are going the file, we're going to give something called a shebang. And so this is going to tell the computer how to interpret this file. So you start off with a hashtag and then an exclamation point. And so then you just type in bin/bash, and that's all you need to do for this right now. And so I'm gonna put some comments here, and let's figure out what we're gonna do really quick before we just start coding. What did I just say this was gonna be? My Vim setup, you can do exclamation point GitHub, or exclamation point terminal settings, and I think it'll give you a link to my Vim stuff. A systems report. I think I said a systems report. Yeah, let's do this. So that's gonna be a dumb app. All it's gonna do is generate a systems report. Generate systems report with the following. And maybe maybe we'll do this. We'll do name. All right, so the system report is going to take a name as a parameter. And then it's just, all it's going to do is it's going to grab CPU information, grab disk information, and it's going to grab memory information, and it's going to stick it all in a file. Called today's date dash report dash systems report. All right, so this is what we're gonna do real fast. We're gonna knock this out super quick. The goal of what I'm doing right now is not at all to show you how to grab CPU information, disk information. Don't sweat that at all. We're just going to think about the process of creating a command line app and really showing you how we're going to be interacting with it. That's all we're going to do. I do agree with crazy long file names, but that's what we're going to do. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So this is a bash script. So basically we can just issue normal Linux commands. So bash script, I really could just do, I can just run normal Linux commands. So maybe if I just wanted to see, disk information, df-h is a way to do that. So look at this entire script. I have one thing in here and I can run this and it will work. And so I'm going to actually do that. I am going to bash rapp.sh and it gives me disk information. I typed in bash, the name of the file, and it ran. Great. And actually, maybe this will be the first, maybe we'll hop straight in and show you this. John Wonton, thank you so much for the gifted sub. John Wonton has been an amazingly generous gifter to this channel. Thank you so much, John Wonton, for the 10 gifted subs. Right when I was talking about how generous you are, everyone, please thank your gifter, John Wonton. We bow at your feet. We thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. It is really good to have you. Oh, I like that, Herald of the Rocks. A file of given name number 1, maybe. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So maybe we'll add that in. Let's add, what are we doing right now? Rap.sh. So maybe it takes file name as a parameter. How about that? File name as parameter. And we don't need to do this piece. Stick it all in a file called whatever a file name was passed in .sh. Sure, that's terrible instructions, but that's what we're gonna go with right now. Okay. Yes, John Wonton has given an absurd amount of gifted subs, and again, I'm super appreciative. Will never not be appreciative. So take a look at this really quick. Before we even get into this, we are going to turn this, before we even start messing with this, we're going to turn this into a command line tool. We're going to turn this into something that you can run from the command. I'm already running it from the command line like normal, but we're gonna change it so that you can call it by name and just get it going. And so the way that you can do that pretty easily is first we can make it executable. And so if you don't understand what making it executable means, this is changing the permissions of the file. If you don't know what that means, you should go back and look at Waddle. Go to YouTube. Do !YouTube, go look at the Waddle playlist. There should be one that's tagged like Linux permissions. Take a look at Linux permissions and it'll help out with this. But I'm gonna make this application executable. Executable meaning we can execute it. We can run this application. And now Now that we did that, you can actually see that it turned green. And now there's some X here. There's these X's in here that now mean it's executable. And so what that means now is I can actually do a /rapp.sh and I still get the same output. It actually did, in fact, run. And I can get the same output. But because this is now an executable piece of a executable file, we can kind of add this as a part of our system path. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy this to /user local bin, and I'm gonna call this system report. System dash, I'm gonna call it, yeah, just system dash report. That was dumb. I didn't tell it what to copy. What do we call this file? We call this file hold on. Our app. Oh well, okay. Am I in the right place? Okay, I don't know why I did that. First off, I need a sudo anyway. Copy our app to / actually, no, we're gonna move it. I'm gonna change the name of this. I'm gonna change the name of our app to system dash report .sh. So I'll change the name of it. You don't have to change the name of it, just so I don't have to do it while I copy. So I'm gonna copy system report to /user local bin, and I'm gonna copy it to systems report. Darn it, no, system report. I'm gonna remove the sh. So all I'm doing right here is I'm just copying this file to a new place and I'm removing the sh. You don't have to remove the sh, but moving it here, what this is gonna do is it's gonna add it to something called our path in Linux, and it's basically gonna mean that we can call this, we can execute this application by name. So everything that we run is it's somewhere on the computer. It's a file somewhere on the computer or an executable somewhere on the computer, and when we call it by name, when I type in ls, there is an associated place, an associated executable or file that is being read from, and I can show you where that is. And a lot of these are in this user local bin system. So if I do ll / user local bin, like Python 3.8, when I call Python 3.8, there is an executable in this user local bin directory. Yes, a symlink would absolutely work. You can absolutely symlink it if you'd like. I probably could have just symlinked it so that as we made changes, things would have been fine. So feel free to do that. Mr. Griffin, right on time. How are you doing, Mr. CM Griffin, with the raid, the party of 27? Hello, everyone who's coming in from CM Griffin's channel. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub as well. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I feel like I need to come through and say hello. I've been pretty busy, but it's good to see you. Glad you're here. You joined us for a little bit of CLI action. We are going to be building some CLI tools here. Right now, we're quickly running through a setup with Bash just so people can kind of see how things work. You know, from the CLI, real simple. We're building a really dumb thing just to kind of show some of the main concepts, but we are going to build an application via Python. I'll tell you what it is going to be right now. It's going to be a temperature converter, but it's not just gonna be a temperature converter. It's gonna be an application called Skynet, actually. So I'm basically gonna have I'm giving you the boilerplate for to be able to run a tool, a command line tool, and we're gonna call it Skynet. And I'm calling it Skynet because with that boilerplate, we'll all be able to create whatever we want out of it. And so this tool could absolutely become the real Skynet, you know, if somebody out there is bold enough or smart enough to do so. But that is what we are going to be doing. CLD, yes, it is the same thing here. For Mac, it's the same thing. From the command line, you need to be wherever that file is. And so if you're using VS Code, if you hit command, like if you're looking at that file in VS Code, if you hit command and then tilde, so the little button under escape, or maybe it's on escape on a Mac, it'll bring up the terminal right there, and you can do the chmod +x and then whatever the name of the file is. So if yours is still called rapp.sh, this is how you would do it. So hopefully, if you're having trouble with it, throw a screenshot or something in Discord, and we'll get you helped out for sure. All right, so let's see here. So now if I run systems report, so now I don't even have to, like be where that file is. I can go anywhere else. I can go into a different directory. This file is not here in this directory. And now if I type in system report, oh, maybe not. Oh, it works. I don't know why it didn't tab complete for me. It didn't tab complete for me, but I typed in system report and it ran. So we essentially have created, a command line application. It's not great. If we were to do system report -- help or something like that, it doesn't give us anything. It actually just runs system report. We can pass all the arguments we want to this and nothing will happen. The only thing that will ever happen is that it will run. So, if I type in, my name over here, and I put in a number here or something like that, it will just keep running. Okay, it'll just run. These mean nothing to the application. The computer doesn't care. Why doesn't it care? Because the bash is interpreting this file first. It's taking in this command and it is executing this, and it is actually trying to do something with these. It is like it sees these things, but the application isn't doing anything with them, so they kind of just go away. So none of that, so like putting them there doesn't hurt anything at all, but I can now run this application just like this. So how do you have a little more control over this stuff? First, let's finish making this script really quick, just so you can see that actually working. Let's do it really fast. So we want to CPU information. The way that you get CPU information, there's a couple different ways. Actually, this is gonna be, I actually don't know what's gonna happen if you, so I generally get mine with top, but we don't want to do it that way. You can also get it with do I have sorrow in here? I don't think I have sorrow in here. I don't. Interesting. Data mining is enabled. Oh, I might have to do a how else can we get, I'm trying to think back to my admin days. I used top for so long. There's an easier, I think there's another way to get CPU information. Linux. I want to do it. The only reason I don't want to do top is because top is going to, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a head on top. Top updates. It's an application that updates. Let's see. Are the Mac command line, Linux command lines basically the same, or is Linux more powerful? Great question, Lewis. So they are almost, so 97% of the cases, they are exactly the same. Mac is built on Unix. Both Mac and Linux are Unix-like. They're both Unix-like. You have to legally say Unix-like for Mac. I don't think you have to say Unix-like for Linux, but they are they are Unix-like. There are differences in some commands. Most commands are the same though. A vast majority of commands are the same, and the ones that are different, like it's when you pass in extra stuff. So like sed commands and stuff on Mac are different. They on Unix are different. They operate a little bit differently. So for the most part, they are the same. So I doubt there's going to be anything that I do that you can't do. Top -B -N 1 should just get the info once. I'm with it. This works. Actually, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get the info once. Oh my gosh, this trackpad. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do that, and I'm just gonna head it. Can I just like head 10 that? Yeah, there we go. Actually, let's just head 1. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. I mean, I can grab now. Let me head 3. All right, that's what we'll do. We'll get that right there. That'll work. Let's see. Yes, I do. I have a ThinkPad with the red dot in the middle, and I use the track point. I prefer the track point to a trackpad. I know it sounds crazy. Just like Vim, I spent time using it, and now I love it. I really do love it. I have a really nice ThinkPad too. I have a X1. I have a Lenovo X1 Extreme Gen 2. You know, whatever the highest, like i9 processor or something. I have like 32 gigs of RAM in there, like 2 terabytes SSD. You know, I love that laptop. 4K screen, awful battery life though, but that's because I got the 4K screen that really messed me up. All right, so I'll take this command right here and I'll copy it. -B-N1. I'll remember that. Head 3. Okay, so we'll start with that. So we'll say, hey, let's I already forgot. Top -B-N1. So here's what we're gonna do. This is the worst way to do it. But again, we're gonna have some fun with it. You can create a file in Linux by just redirecting output into a file. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna echo, let's see, CPU. Let's do this. Star CPU information. Star. And we're gonna redirect that into a file called let's do 2 of these. I don't know if that'll create it. We're gonna call it the name that's passed in. So the name that's gonna be passed in is gonna be $1. Why is it gonna be $1? Because again, in Bash, these are positional parameters. So after the command is called, the very first thing that's passed in is the thing that's at the ones place, and you can reference that by $1 .sh. I think this will work. But I guess you need to give it the whole name. How about that? I don't want to be lazy. Actually, I want to be lazy. So let's do that. I'm gonna clean this up. I promise. We're not gonna. First, I'm gonna echo everything. Actually, I'm just gonna do this just so you can see it, and then we're gonna echo this in there. We don't need to echo this. Head dash. Wow, I can't type. It's a different keyboard, so it's really throwing me off. $1. All right, so here's part of the problems with doing a bash script like this. When you are building a command line tool like this in a bash script, I could incorporate everything that I wanted to incorporate that you've seen already. Help, all that stuff, you know, required things, but I have to handle all of those things manually, which is really tough. So like right now you saw with that I could type in any number of arguments after we call the actual application itself, and you know, nothing happens. And right now we're expecting a $1. We're expecting 1 argument, but the user doesn't know that. There's no way for them to find it out without having to look at the script, and there's nothing stopping them from not passing this in. So what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna actually run this script without passing anything in, and we did it, and it says, hey, ambiguous redirect. I cannot do anything because $1 doesn't mean anything to me. So I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna pass in a file name. So I'm gonna call this output.sh, and that time it looks like it worked and exited properly. How can we see? Look at this. Now we have an output.sh here. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at what's in output.sh. And check this out. I have the CPU information at the top, the heading, and then I have the actual CPU information. So it did what we wanted it to do. Just a little breakdown of what we typed in there. The echo just spits, it's like a print statement. It spits stuff out to the terminal. This is a redirect operator, and what it does is it redirects the output from the command on the left into whatever's on the right. And so you need 2 of these. If I did 1 down here, it would actually overwrite the whole file. So 2 of these, and it overwrites them into this file. So now that's what's there. Yes, it should not have been output.sh. This is why you should control what happens. Like making sure that someone doesn't put a bad file name or something in there is something that you're gonna have to handle inside of your application itself. But we could do that all day. We could run it again if we wanted to and fix it, and you know, output.txt, and then we could diff them. To see what the what the CPU differences are between when I ran these. And different load, the load changed between the first and the second time I ran it, and so did the CPU, like core information, whatever. Yeah, whatever. So we would be able to run this. So if I copy this again, I should have sim linked this. You're right, I should have sim linked it, but we're gonna make our life as hard as possible. I'm gonna do it again. So now if I just run systems report without doing anything else, and I pass in new report.txt, I'm running this as a normal command line application, and I do in fact get a new report.txt here. Great, phenomenal, exciting, but kind of boring. And it works. And you could do this if you want to build out little tools and things to help you out during the day. But again, if we try to do systems report -- help, or we try to get try to figure out what's going on and how to use this thing, it doesn't tell us. Also, we can I can run the application without passing in anything that's required, and it doesn't give you the kind of flexibility that you really want to have when you're making a good command line application. So what are our options then? Our options are to use something that's a little bit more dynamic. Bash is pretty dynamic. Like I said, you can use Bash to do a lot, but these other programming languages do allow for some additional flexibility and the ways that you do things. They do open up your world a bit into what you can do. So the same way that we just did this systems report, we could write a fancy little let me backtrack off that word fancy. We could write a little Python script that does something very similar. So real quick, I can do this in the exact same way. I can say them greeting .py. You don't need to copy this part at all. I'm just gonna do it really quick for you, so that we can all work together on the last piece. So greeting.py. In here, we're gonna put at the very top, we're gonna put something different. So the same shebang, but I'm gonna say user bin Python 3.8. And so I'm going to tell it to run with Python instead of Bash. And so we can operate a Python script the exact same way that we just did with the Bash script, even though this is a Bash interpreter. It's a command interpreter. It's all good. What's up, Milky Dev? How you doing? Let me first off, I've been slacking on the shout outs here. First off, shout out Milky Dev. Milky Dev does some pretty cool things on his channel. We've rated a few times, so if you want to learn and build and see anything cool, definitely check out Milky Dev's channel. Oh yes, yours instead of user. Good call. Thanks for saving me some time. And we could just do something like this. Maybe you want to say name equals input input and say, what is your name? And we can just print out actually what I'm just trying to I told you I'm rusty. I'm trying to remember my Python skills. Comma, what is up, my friend, comma, and then your name. This feels right. I think this is syntactically correct. Who knows? But this is a little dumb Python script, and so we can turn something like this. Let's run it, and then we can turn it into something that runs by default on the command line. Greeting.py. Whoops, let's fix that. What happened here? What is up, my friend? Name. What is it missing? What am I missing? Oh, I might have to Python 3 it. Let's see. Is that the problem? Yeah, there we go. It's trying to run it via Python 2. So I say my name is Aaron, and it says, what is up, my friend Aaron? And then the same way that we did that, because we put this line at the top, because this line is at the top. If this line was not at the top, we couldn't do what we're about to do. Because that line is at the top, and actually I'll show you. I'm gonna remove this line really quick. Actually, no, let's leave it in first. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this executable. So chmod plus x greetings.py, and now I can execute it like this, greetings.py, without having to call Python. The reason why I can do this without having to call Python is because the very top of the line tells Bash what thing to use when running it. And so when I do it, it works. That's my name. What's up, my friend? So I can simply copy this over to the other place. So I can simply copy this sudo. Actually, let me remove that line first to show you that it will not work if I remove this line. Actually, can you comment this line out? Yeah, I'll just comment the line out. Never thought about that because it's already commented. And if I try to run it, I get a syntax error. Okay, and so you do need this up to be able to do this. And I can do sudo copy greeting.py to user local bin, and I'll call it just greeting. And from anywhere on the computer now, I can type in greeting. And it'll say, hey, what's your name? And I'm gonna say my name is Paul, and it runs from anywhere on the computer. So great. This is just running a little script, a little application. You are running an application, it's great. But again, it does not have all the features of what you expect from a real command line tool or application. It does not give you what you really need to make sure people can actually use what you need. So this works if you need to just, you want to automate something, you want to, there's something you have to do every day. Again, like that systems report, maybe that is something you do every day. Maybe you have to log into a system every single day and pull a little script, pull some information by running a couple different commands. Or maybe you got to, run some type of job that, has a couple different pieces. You can write a little script, a little tool like this, put it in the right place, set it up properly, and you can use it like any other command line tool. But this, although useful, does not give us the same functionality that we've been seeing that we kind of really need for real tools to do some pretty serious things. Like you can't create Skynet like this. This is not how you can create Skynet. So right now we're going to learn how to create Skynet. So first, let me go ahead and give you the boilerplate code. I might write the boilerplate code out. Maybe we'll see. But I'll give you at least the boilerplate. And so what we're gonna do is GitHub. My day is long, so when I get to the evening, my mind is a little I'm not gonna lie, I'd be a little foggy sometimes, but that's because I wake up at 5, y'all. I've been doing a really good job. I wake up at 5. The goal was to get to the gym when it opened at 5:30. That does not happen. I usually stand around my room. I wake up at 5 and then I walk out of the room and I stand in the hallway or the bathroom, just trying to mentally get there. And then I head out, and so I'll wake up at 5:02. Actually, my alarm is set for 5:02. Don't know why it's set for 5:02, but it's set for 5:02. And I usually make it to the gym between 5:45 and 6. I make it there between 5:45 and 6, and I go, I do my stuff all day, which is actually a lot easier now because I have more autonomy in my day. But it's now, it's 8 o'clock, so it's a long day. It's a long day sometime. So I am a little foggy, but you know what I'm gonna start doing? We're gonna have to bring the coffee back to the streams. We're gonna have to, I need to start making that evening a cup of joe. And I think that'll help me out a lot, to be 100% honest. Okay, so there is in here, I have, you guys see this? Yeah, I got code spaces. Pretty exciting. I just talked about coffee, and this was a little, we did a stream for Baltimore Code and Coffee making APIs via Python, and we called it, that's what the backend was called, Dark Coffee. And I don't think we ever finished it, but it does do some like coffee recommendations right now or something. I can't remember. I don't even know if it's deployed. I just want to see what comes up because I don't know. It's like a serverless application that we wrote. I'm actually really interested to see what this looks like. I will say that's the one thing I have noticed, that I haven't done anything in here yet really, but code spaces to start is a bit slow. It's definitely a bit slow, but it's all good. Yeah, there's a little dumb stuff in there, but we will do a little deeper dive into that. So let me get into my repositories. And so before we do this, so Skynet done is so that I can give it to you later. It's not completely done, but it's a piece of what we have. This is what you can check out. And again, all this is boilerplate code for getting us up and running with a command line tool in Python. Now, Python actually has a lot of options for building command line tools. This is why it gets a little bit complicated. Either you go into Bash and you build out all the things that you need to build out. You build out your own help functions. You build out, you know, all of your error handling, all that stuff. That's great. Not a very fun thing to do. There's also command line tools. There's also packages and things that can help out with that. Or you can use a programming language where you would have to do that yourself as well. But luckily, people, you know, the community builds frameworks and things to help you out with this. So every language has frameworks. Every language has something to help you build command line tools, except for maybe C. I have no idea. I think C, those people might just be building these things because people who write C are geniuses and psychopaths and masochists. But yeah, everyone has one. So we are going to be using one called Cli. There are a few others with Python. Python uses more than just Cli. There's you can do it with a built-in like sysarg thing if you want. But there's a lot of if you start to Google it, you'll see a lot of different implementations of this. The reason I chose Cli is because when I was kind of looking through what I thought might be the easiest kind of framework of them all to at least get started with, I thought Cli was pretty good from what I was looking at. So yeah, we're gonna be using Cli, but everyone has one. Go, I was gonna do it in Go at first. Go has one called SPF 13, and it's pretty powerful. SPF 13 Cobra. And so a lot of tools use this. So like Kubernetes, it uses this to, so when you're doing things in Kubernetes, you've seen me do some stuff in Hugo as well. It's using Cobra to help do this. And so that's pretty cool. So there are, there are different packages. I saw a cool one. Let's see, CLI tool Rust. There was like a walkthrough on doing one with Rust. And I was like, oh, maybe we'll just like walk through. Maybe we'll just like walk through this. Yeah, look at this, command line apps in Rust. I thought maybe we could run through that a little bit, but like I said, I don't know Rust, so I didn't want to waste your time. But I thought it would have been fun. I know we could get through it, but I don't know how long it's going to take. But yeah, we are using this one. So it is a external package, so it must be downloaded. So you don't have to set your application up this way. Again, I wanted to set it up in a way that you all will be able to take this and do what you want with it. Like learn a little bit today, dive into a little bit more and be able to build off from this a little bit later. So let's talk about what we have here. Let me actually clone this so I can get started as well. And we can look at how the code is set up. All right. Clear. That is not it. Man, I'm struggling. All right, here we go. So I finally got it downloaded after 17 tries, and I got it here. So there are 3 things that you can see right up front. Right up front, you can see 3 things. One is a requirements.txt. Let's actually open up all of them and let's take a look at requirements.txt. So requirements.txt, all that's in here is Cli, and the Cli version is 7.1.2. So the requirements.txt in Python is a method for managing your dependencies. So you don't have to have this requirements file, but in the long term, it helps. And so putting this here will allow us to download Cli whenever we want to set this package up. And so that's what's in there. That's the only external package that we're going to pull in right now. If we need to pull in anything else, we will absolutely add to this. Did a course on Python automation a while back if you're interested. Yeah, I mean, I'd be super interested. If anyone else is, I would check it out. Anyone, if you're interested in more Python automation, take the slides. Definitely take the slides. I would be interested. I'm always interested in the different things that people are doing with them, because again, everyone's experience, like your experience with automation is with the things that you needed to automate, and everyone has different use cases and stuff, so it's pretty cool seeing people do it in different places. What's up 5 Mayo? What's up Adam? Fat Nasi, how you doing? What's up Jeezer0 G Force? Welcome to the channel, thank you for the follow. So we do have this requirements.txt, and so we're going to use pip to install this. Hopefully you have pip 3 installed. If you don't, it might be a little bit hassle. I'm not gonna lie, I like Python. I like Python a lot, but the management of Python tooling and packages is, man, it is a headache to me. It is absolutely a headache, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So that's the first thing. The next thing that we have here is this setup.py. What is this setup.py? So setup, this is a paradigm that exists for Python packages. What I did was I created a package for you. I created this repository to be a package for you for a command line tool using Click. And so what I did is I gave you a little bit of the I gave you the boilerplate to set this up, so you don't need to do any, you don't need to make any changes from this. Here's what it's doing though. It's setting up some data about it, so name and version, and it's doing basically what I have it doing is getting all the requirements. So down here for install requirements, this line right here, it's doing a read requirement. So it is I wrote this little function as a commonly used function to basically, it's going to go through, if you can see, it's going to go through the requirements.txt, and it's going to split all those things up line by line. Right now I only have one in there, so that's not super important, but if we add more, this will mean that it's completely fine, and it'll install everything that we need to install. Why is it going to do that? So that whenever you're done with this, this makes it easy for when you get it onto a new computer. If you want to download this to a new computer and set it up to run, it makes it super easy to set up and run with. And what it also does, the important thing that it also does, is it sets up this entry point into the console script. So we're gonna break this down a little bit, but you can call it whatever you want. But it's basically telling this to grab Skynet from the Skynet folder, from a file called CLI, and then a function in that file called CLI. It's confusing syntax, definitely confusing when I was first looking at it. I was like, this is a little bit weird, but it's, you know, once I figured it out, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, so you can leave this as is, everything will work. You don't really have to, I wanted to show it to you so that we could talk about it a little bit, but you don't need to mess with this file at all. But if you go into the Skynet folder, all right, in that Skynet folder, there are, you probably don't have a PyCache. Oh, you do, because I just downloaded it, but don't worry about that. What you do have is this underscore init__.py, which is and it's empty. It's an empty file. You can get it from GitHub. Let me share it again. Let me also make a little command for it so people can get it later. It is, you can get it from right here. But what do we do? That init.py, this is a paradigm for Python to let Python know that this is a package. That's how Python knows that Skynet right here is a package. That's all it's there for. It's not there for any other reason but to let Python know that it is a package. So the file that matters is the cli.py app. I call the cli.py, probably not the best thing to call the file, but not a big deal. This is the cli.py file. Now, you're taking a look at it. First line, import Click. You are importing Click. So we added it to our requirements, and now we are importing it into this file so that we can actually use Click. Now, Click is interesting. Click uses something called Decorators to kind of set things up. We did not talk about Decorators. I don't think we've talked about Decorators. Not important right now, to be honest, but that's what these are. These are decorators. It basically allows us to set up a little group here. We'll talk about what a grouping is. This is These are things that are very specific to the Cli package. So this is when you would go look at the Cli documentation. I'm not going to take you through a lot of the Cli documentation tonight, but you can look through the Cli documentation. Remember, the goal tonight is not at all for you to memorize how to create this stuff. It's to understand, you know, that we're going to understand the concepts of what this is doing, and then I'm going to basically open the gate for you to do what you want with it. What's up, Cyber Insecurity? Welcome. Thank you so much for the follow as well. Good to have you. Zero Frozed. Maybe that's Frost. I don't know, but I like it. Welcome to the channel. Okay, so if you look at it, there's a function here, a function called CLI. And all it does is it has a string literal for welcome to Skynet. Now, that's everything. That's everything that's in here in this boilerplate code. This is just boilerplate code. And so the way that you set it up is you need to do, hopefully you have pip installed. If you don't, you're gonna have to Google how to install pip. I don't actually know how to install pip, to be 100% honest. But either you're gonna do pip or pip3, and all you're gonna do is from this root directory, so from the Skynet folder, not the second one, from the, you know, you clone the folder, you're gonna go into that folder, and all you're gonna do, as long as you can see requirements.txt and setup.py, all you are gonna do here is you are simply going to do a Python, a pip3 install. A dot says, hey, install right here. It's going to check the requirements.txt. You can also do a -r and specify it. But yeah, cybersecurity, thank you so much for the tier 3 sub. Wow. Cyber Insecurity, thank you so much for the tier 3 sub. Good to have you. Welcome. Coming in with the extreme generosity. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Everyone who received that sub, please thank your tipper. Thank you so much for the support of the channel. It is absolutely good to have you. Zero Frost, thank you so much for the 50 bits. Man, everyone's so kind. Out of the kindness of your heart, I do appreciate it. That's gonna help because, you know, everyone who's new to the channel who knows, you know, I left my 6-figure tech job last Friday, my tech lead position, so I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Zero Fate, for the Twitch Prime sub. The love. Mobile Pad, thank you so much for the bit, the cheer. Love. Thank you. I appreciate you all. I really do. Thank you so much for the kindness. I'll never forget you all. I just, you know, people can be so good. You know, everyone thinks everyone in the world is crazy, and that's not true. That's not true. I see nothing but love. I see nothing but, you know, people being kind. Thank you so much, though. I do appreciate it. I left my 6-figure wallet in my other car. Well, I'm gonna go find that car. To be 100% honest with you, I'm gonna have to go find that car. But yeah, all good. No, I appreciate it. I'm telling you, I appreciate it just as much as any other cheer or anything else. I really do. All right, so let's see. We got that installed. So take a look at what pip did when it installed. It said, hey, I'm going through, I'm processing this stuff, and it says, hey, requirements already satisfied. So I already had Cli installed on here, but for you, it probably downloaded it. And then it says, you know, using legacy setup. Don't really know what that means. Since package wheel not installed, maybe I should install package wheel. I don't know, not a Python dev. I don't think you have to be for what we're doing here today. And then it says installing collected packages Skynet. So remember, I put that underscore init file, so it knows it's a package, and it, you know, it goes through and it sets it up as a package. So now what you can do is you can actually just call Skynet. And when you call Skynet, look at the output that you get. It says welcome. It says usage, Skynet, options, command R. It says welcome to Skynet. Remember, that's what we put in our Skynet file. It says options -- help show you this stuff. So this boilerplate with Cli sets up the framework for you to be able to easily have the stuff that, you know, have this right here. And so we are already miles better than what we were doing with the little bitty scripts that we wrote for our command line argument. And this is what these packages do. Again, I would check out the one for whichever language you like. For you JavaScript lovers out there, there is one. It's called Oclif, I think, for JavaScript. Let me see. I think it's called Oclif for JavaScript. Yeah, the CLI framework. So there are a bunch for whatever you like, and yeah, it works out. We have more viewers than AWS. Sometimes I have more viewers than AWS. You know, it is a point of pride of mine. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do hop into the AWS channel pretty often, as well as Microsoft's. I just love that these organizations are putting things out here again for free for people. Like I think that all of this stuff, I think tech should be available to as many people as possible. You know, I understand people's need to make money as well. I completely understand that. I'm not saying there shouldn't be paid courses at all. I'm just saying that I think the opportunity for, you know, people to come just ask people from AWS questions, that's a phenomenal thing. Like, I think that's so cool that they just have people that can answer your questions and that you can see and interact with. Like, I love it. It makes me super happy. Thank you so much, Crumbs was taken, for the 500 bits. I do appreciate it. Legend, sure. Yeah, you must. Cyber insecurity is a legend. I'm not a legend. I am just a guy. Thank you so much. Let's see. Okay, let's so let's add to this. So we already have a command line app. You know, you didn't even have to do any work, and you already have a command line app. Now, I'll tell you that the point of contention most of you are going to run into is with the pip install. If you run into pip install problems, I'm telling everyone who's running into any kind of pip install problems, let's take it all to Discord, because there's going to be so much that we're going to learn through troubleshooting these issues. Hit up Google, ask questions, you know, paste your error that you're getting. Like, this process is fun, and this is what I want to see how this goes, how it goes down in Discord, like us helping each other out work through these technical problems, because they can be very tough. Like, they can be very difficult to work through, because there's a couple of layers of things you got to know. You know, if your Linux skills aren't amazing, it's hard to decipher what's going on and hard to know how to get more information. You know, if you don't know anything about that runtime as well, you're like, hey, what's a Linux problem? What's actually a runtime problem? I can't decipher the message enough to know, like, what even is it saying? Like, so, you know, screenshot it, put it in the channel. We're gonna get as many people worked out as we can. Like, you will learn a lot in this process. I know it's frustrating, but you'll learn a lot in this process. This code is going to get pushed. You have the boilerplate. After this, you can build after this. You'll learn a lot in that process. Is pip the way to go? So yeah, so you can do, like, if you're familiar with Python and you're familiar with your Python virtual environments and stuff, go for it. Go for anything that you want to do in that realm. The only reason I didn't do it is because I think it would confuse more people, since, you know, there are people on here, who are already excellent developers who just have no idea how to use Python, and also people who are just like, hey, I don't know any of this. So I thought staying away from virtual M's and any kind of M's would be for the best, I think. But yeah, so probably the way to go. Yeah. How to run Skynet after pip 3 install? You should just be able to type in Skynet. You should be able to just type it in, hopefully. Yeah, yep, that is how it is. But after you mtdvp, yep, after you do the pip 3 install dot, you can go ahead and just type. You should just be able to type in Skynet. The first, I remember so let's check this out. When I was first trying to learn how to do this, and I was writing this setup here, it did not work. And it didn't work all because I had entry points right here with no underscore. It was the most frustrating thing. And what I ended up having to do was, like, go line by line with someone else's, someone had a similar setup somewhere that I found, and I had to go line by line and comment stuff out and do diffs and all kinds of stuff, and I finally found it, and it sucked. So command not found. That's interesting. Are there any errors in your pip 3 install? If there are no errors in your pip 3 install, make sure you're in the right place. Make sure you're in the directory that has requirements.txt, setup.py, and the Skynet folder, because that's pretty important. So make sure you're there, and it should work, hopefully. Oh yeah, you got it. Yeah, I'll say Discord. You can type in !Discord and you'll get it. hygienic Python environment using pip-m for handling dependencies. Okay, I'm checking that out. I'm putting that right here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So first off, that's really funny. I have my A Cloud Guru shirt on that they give you if you sign up for A Cloud Guru, they send you some swag or whatever. But I don't know, man. I love what they're doing. Like I love how they're evolving past just the videos. Like I don't know, they're a dope company, man. I really respect them. I watch a lot of their stuff. They make it easy for me because I don't have to keep looking to see what's going on with AWS. And I'm about to get pretty deep into Azure. So if anyone's interested in Azure, I know people are going to be hurt that I'm not diving into GCP. The reason why we're going into Azure along with AWS next is jobs. It's jobs and market share. Like I personally want to know GCP, but Azure growth has been pretty crazy. The demand for it has been pretty great over the past year or so. So yeah, we're gonna be doing some stuff there as well. Added a make file to this. Oh yeah, dope, perfect. And yeah, not that many people use GCP in comparison to the other two big players. Okay, so hopefully the command Skynet works, but again, you can still try to build this out. I would say if your Skynet command isn't working, don't sweat it. You can still copy along and build along the code right now, and then you can work on getting the Skynet command troubleshooted. Oh, it's one of those. You know what? I had this question so much. Let me Google this. Past tense of troubleshoot. Why does it be something stupid like troublesheet or something real dumb? Past tense of troubleshoot. Let's go. The past tense of troubleshoot is troubleshot. Makes sense. Past tense of shoot is shot. So troubleshot. Yeah. So troubleshot. That is it. I mean, so like I said, the worst word we're gonna say is booty, and trouble chat is all together. It's fine. We'll trouble chat. Actually, chat's not a bad word. I feel like it's not a real word. I don't think. But yeah. So go along with the code, and then we can all troubleshoot with you later in Discord. So I already lost my spot. My workflow is so different because I haven't been using this computer. Just trying to get my workflow back. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Here's what my idea is. Again, D-Flare, we are using Discord now. We are moving away from Slack due to some cool integrations that are on their way. Discord allows for some things that are going to make all this stuff a little more seamless. Things like slides, things like all the resources and stuff. It's going to make it a lot more seamless once I'm done implementing these things. So all the code that we're gonna need to write right now is in this Skynet folder. I'm gonna go back. And we'll just vim the whole thing. Everything we're gonna need to edit is in this Skynet folder, CLI. Now, we're gonna stay right here tonight in this file, but you do not have to. There are better ways. They're as things grow, you would actually likely want to move files out of here and structure your code a little bit different. But we're going to start really simple so that you can start to feel what to do, and then again iterate. We can help it grow over time. Yes, the Mastermind Discord was dead. We are bringing it back. It's it's not the most hype right now. There are things that are coming that are gonna make it hype. I thought I was gonna have in my mind when I left, I was like, Friday I leave my job. On Saturday, I'm basically gonna have 29 hours in a single day to be able to get all the stuff done that I want to get done. That did not happen. And then when I got to Monday, I did have a lot of time. I was like, oh, I have all day to do what I need to do. But again, I'm running more parts of the business than just this. And man, that stuff, I was like, oh, things aren't gonna ramp up for 2 or 3 weeks. Nope, things ramped up day one. Again, good for the best, but Yeah, so some of the things I'm just trying to get set up there. I also anticipate there being a lot more people in the Discord pretty soon as well. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. It's no longer dead. All right, so take a look at this. We have this Def CLI, and Welcome to Skynet is the first thing that pops up. We saw Welcome to Skynet when we ran Skynet, and we were able to see that. So that's great. So by default, what's happening right now is the setup.py set this up so that it comes in, and when Skynet's passed in, it's looking in this Skynet folder over here. It finds a file called CLI, and it runs the CLI. It runs the CLI function. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So that's kind of the entry point in all of this. Cool, Harold, appreciate it. Go grab some food, man. You know, food is for everyone. Food makes us all happy. You need it. So the entry point to this application is this CLI function. I didn't need to call it CLI. I could have called it whatever I wanted to call it. I could have called it entry point, whatever I wanted to call it, I could have called it. But this is where the application enters into everything that we're going to be doing. And so right at the top is a decorator that sets up a click group. And so what a click group does in the click package basically allows us to set up a command that has sub commands. What's a sub command? Sub command is like when you like my AWS commands, like AWS S3 is a sub command, like telling it to use the S3 service, and then even more commands, ls. You know, I don't have my stuff set up. I don't even have AWS CLI set up here, but basically it's going to allow us to do something like this, to do like Skynet, and then, you know, I mean, you know, if this was real Skynet, you might want to have something that says Skynet initiate. And that's a subcommand. Initiates the subcommand, and initiate would have it do all this cool stuff, and Skynet would now be online, and the world would, you know, come to an end. But we can use, now that we have it set up as a group, we can add in any number of these that we would like to add in. And so, like I said, I think we should just build a simple I was just gonna build like a temperature converter or something like that, something dumb, not super useful, but again, I just want to build something because then we all can use this to build whatever we want inside of Skynet. We can all contribute to the same repo too, to kind of make a dumb application that just has tons of tools that are there for almost no reason. But actually, that sounds like a good idea, actually. And so let's do that. Let's start to see how something like this might work. Let's put this back. Why didn't it? There we go. So outside of this function is where everything else can live. Added my directory to the path, and now Skynet works. Interesting. That's, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I did not have to do that. That's very interesting, but cool. I'm glad it works. That's a good call there. So what we're gonna do first is to specify a new click command. We're gonna do click command, and so this will set up, this will tell click that, hey, there's gonna be a command coming and it can do stuff. And what we can do with that command is we can actually set up, after this decorator, we can set up a new function. So I'll call it converter right now, but we will see just some basic stuff here. So I'm gonna call it converter, and does this function take anything? Right now it's not going to take anything. Obviously we're going to have to make it take something. You can't convert anything if you don't take in anything, but for now, just to make sure we see something, we're going to do I gotta remember, I want to say it's click.echo. I could just do a print here as well, but a click.echo, you are attempting to convert. So I'm just putting this here so that we can see when we run this. I want us to first make sure that we can get to this convert function before we start doing any work at all. So what should happen is we should be able to type in Skynet converter. Let's make it convert and not converter, and it should tell us we are attempting to convert, and it should exit. I think that's going to happen. Now, one thing that has to happen is, unfortunately, because we're changing like this is a module, and when we downloaded the stuff, it set up the module and everything. We're gonna have to rebuild this module, so we're gonna have to run that pip command again. But here's what I want you to do: if you're gonna run it, if you make a change and run it again, change this command to between the install and the dot, add in a dash editable. I think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's right. What this will allow you to do is basically hot reloading of the module, so that you don't have to keep rebuilding it every single time that you make a change to it. So I'm gonna hit enter, and it's gonna rebuild it, and we should be good to go now. We shouldn't have to do that again. And if I go to Skynet, so if I type in Skynet, not Snynet, Skynet, you know, we get the same welcome to Skynet message. But then if we do Skynet convert, all right, no such command convert, no command. All right, so let's see. I don't know why I thought that was gonna work. Let's see. Click command def convert, click echo. We might have to look at the we'll have to look at the documentation really quick. I'm sure something small. I'm trying to memorize what we, oh no, what we did. There's an example command, so we can add in options. Yes, def hello. No, not a problem, not a problem. We can add in our options in a second, but click option, click command, import click. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what's happening here. Def convert, click command, def convert. We save this. Editable should build it. And no convert. But let's try this again. Let's do a Skynet dash help, and it's not showing. It's not showing us in. So it's not showing us any new things here. It should show us that we do have a command that is available to us because, oh, you know what I did wrong? I know what I did wrong. Got it. All right, it's not click.command. Click.command is a thing, but because we made a click group here for CLI, it is CLI command instead of click command. And this will make it a command that is a part of the CLI grouping here. And now if we do a Skynet dash help, oh, hold on. They're playing me. They are playing me. It's supposed to show me convert Skynet pip3. What are you doing to me? Let's see. CLI dot command and click that echo. Let's just, what happens if I do, I'm gonna remove the click that echo, but no, that shouldn't be a problem. CLI dot command, that's what command, right? Def convert. This should be right. This should 100% work for me. Yes, all right, we'll look at these stuff. If it doesn't, so Skynet. Dash. It's almost like it's not getting, let me try something real quick. -RF. Let's try to do this again. Actually, what, okay, I'll just do it again. Seems to be working for me on the first go with the original syntax. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Seems weird. Like this is definitely the right. I mean, I'm not saying it's I mean, I might have a little problem. Skynet, it should tell me that there are more. This is how I did it before, but it's fine. We'll figure this out. Not a problem. We know how to troubleshoot things, but it is working for you, that one PC player. That's really weird. It's almost like, let's think really quick. One, what version of Python am I on? How do you, let me just try upgrading pip 3 really quick. Excuse me. Python upgrade pip 3. I think you use pip 3 to upgrade pip 3. Is it working for anyone else? But yeah, I like it. At CLI command. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let's just make sure there's no spelling errors real quick. Vim Skynet CLI. Oh no, nope. Let me see how to upgrade this. CLI command writer. Let me pip 3 install. That's fine. Click echo, we're not converted. So the click echo did work for you. Let me upgrade pip really quick. What's happening? What is this? My computer's dying. How to upgrade pip 3? I think I can just do like Python. There we go. I don't want the setup tools one. You can also try to put it, I don't know if you're in the Discord or not. You can also try to put it in Discord. Let me just rule this out because I know I've had problems before with pip. I got it going after messing around in WSL2 version. You're using pip version. Oh, here we go. This is the command. They gave it to me. Posted in decoded discussions. Let's check that out. I have to do it on this computer because I don't have Discord installed on this one. Let's see. Don't switch. Yeah. I mean, that looks literally the same, except for maybe spacing. This feels like a weird. Is it? No. Couldn't be this. CLI command COMMAND. It looks like you have like a space here on I don't think that's right though. But click that echo. We're not converting. Even if we didn't have anything here, it should still work. Even if we passed right here, it should still find convert. But I'll add this back since it is working for you. Click that echo. We are now. I think this might be a let me check something really quick. Also, let me get the is installed local bin and 9 path. So I think that's what someone else did and they were getting it. Pip is telling you when it's out of date, but why does it matter though? Why upgrade pip? So pip is just a package manager. Sometimes when it's out of date, it might do it might put things in certain places that have been updated, or the way that it handles packages could be a little bit different. But yeah, let's see here. Hold on, let's do this one more time. I wonder, you know what it might be. I wonder Hold on, I wonder if this has to do, check this out. Which Python, and if I ll/user bin Python, I wonder if this is the problem. I wonder if it's because my system Python version is pointed at Python 2. So let me ln, I never remember, is it source and then destination? I never remember what to do. I kind of want to re-push it to Python 3. I wonder if that's the problem. But I feel like it shouldn't be, because the system is probably trying to use, hold on. I think that might be the problem. Let me see something here. I wonder, all right, really quick, symlinks, what is it? Is it source destination or destination? I think symlinks are weird. So if I try to symlink requirements.txt to test link.txt. Okay, all right. So that means that I can do an ln -s. I can do the source, which is /user local. Actually, when I did which Python, hold on. So /ln -s. I might break all this. User bin. I might have to unlink this first. So first, unlink /user bin Python. Whoa, Mr. Prime, thank you so much. Well, first off, welcome. We're just fighting through a little bit of Python problems, which is really annoying because it's working on other people's computers and not mine. This is why we like things like Docker. But thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate it. 5 months in a row. I appreciate that. That's amazing, phenomenal. Mom on the phone, but you're here. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Can you make cli.py print out the Python version it's invoking? Yeah, I can do that. I think I can do that. Let's actually see. That's a good idea. Before I do any unlinking, let's Skynet/CLI. I don't know how to do that, but we're gonna find out right now. Python print print, let's see, Python app print version. Let's try that. That's a good idea. Import sys.version. Okay. Information string. If you only with the Python version number, then this is the best. I didn't even do that. Okay, here we go. Import platform version. So good. That's a great idea. This is why I love troubleshooting together. This is a phenomenal. Whoa, undo. IV. So let's see what happens here. It should print out every time, no matter what. And it's got hot reloading. So let's actually see if the reloading is working. Skynet, it did not reload. So that's making me think that this is not a. What? Why are there only? It seems weird. It's not printing it, but I can also just run that command. I can Python. But if I call it via Python, then it's gonna print out whatever. So like if I call it like Python 3 Skynet/CLI.py, it's gonna print out what I ran it with. And if I run it without it, it's gonna print out Python 2. No module name click, which is interesting. Actually, so it has to be running with Python 3 because we're not getting a click error. And we use pip3 to install it. So it seems as though it has to be running with 3. But what's even more interesting, you know what? I'll put this in the, no, I can't see it. I just put it in the wrong place. Let me Skynet, I just need to move this print down. VX, let's put it undo, let's put it above. All right, let's put this here. So there's no error. I'm not seeing something that I should be seeing, where other people are seeing what I'm seeing. Basically, a change we made should allow, using this click package should allow us to be seeing an extra command be added to the CLI application that we're creating. And it should be working. I'm pretty confident it should be working, and it is not working, but it is working for other people. Skynet, I thought that would print it out. Feels like that should print it out. And if I run it, this is very interesting. It's almost like, you know what I'm gonna do really quick? I'm going to remove Skynet.egg.info, and in Skynet, I'm gonna remove PyCache. All right, let me try this. Let me try that. I could PyInvit, yeah. I mean, let's see. Let's just see what happens now. Nah, I don't see anything. It's really interesting that it's, this is really killing me. This is really bothering me. Is it environment setting? It might be an environment thing. The first line of the output after building, something about the direct not being writable. Oh, maybe that is it. I didn't see that. Defaulting to user installation because normal site packages is not writable. Interesting. That's interesting. Is anyone else seeing that piece? Defaulting to user installation, but this is fine because I'm not getting that when you run it. Okay, so maybe yeah, I can do a virtual env in a second. The only reason I didn't want to do virtual env, because now I gotta look up virtual env stuff because I don't do Python. So what I do, I have to create a virtual env first, and then I have to attach to that virtual env. Is that how it works? Python virtual env. Let's see. If someone has a command, let me know before I go down too far. I'm getting errors now with commands not being available. Python 3. Okay, let's do that. So Python 3 dash m VM, and I just have to give it the, do I have to give it the location of, do I have to give it the location of where this is, or can I just do like this? Where does this have to be? Can I just do this right here? Where did I call this? I'm currently at decoded, or can I just do a dot? Can I do like a dot like this / name? And then can I do like a test env or something like that? All right, and then after I do that, I have to now connect to it, right? Source it. So VM right here. So I just source. Oh, come on. Source. ./testinv. All right, is that all I have to do? All I have to do? Am I done now? Let's see. Okay, and then source it. All right, this feels like it's right. And so now I have to do the same setup, right? So I have to do, so is there a way, first off, is there a way in Python? I'm sure there is, but to see which virtual environment I'm using, like, can I do like a VM like ls or something? Like a Python 3. Can I do VM -- help? Can I do this as a command line? No such file or directory. Hold on. Okay. Well, let me pip 3 install. I'm not even gonna do with editable. Defaulting, you did not source right. So I didn't source right. What do I have to, let me go look at the sourcing they did here. VM/bin/activate. So I have to do, is there a bin activate in here? Like that? Is that right now? Oh, okay. And then it gives me the test env right there. That makes more sense. That looks more like the last time I used Python virtual environments. Okay. All right. You know. And so let's do that. And that looks better. And now if I were to run Skynet, so it works here. Okay, so it's a system problem. It is a system problem. The whole time I was thinking it was a coding problem. And it's funny because I chose Python because I thought it would give us the least amount of system problems, and it gave us the most amount of system problems. But okay, now we have, you know, we're gonna finish this out though. We are gonna finish this out. So now that we worked that out, you can see here that in my Skynet command, I do have convert here, even though my code hasn't changed at all, but I do have convert here. And so that adds a sub command. And so now I can even do Skynet convert. And when I hit that, look at that. One, it's actually running my code now, which is great. It's running my code finally, but it's also letting us see the message that we put in there. So phenomenal. Okay, that's why system packages error was coming up and not actually updating. Yeah, I probably should have just read the error, but you know, I wanted to move too fast. All right, so let's make our final modifications really quick. Let's take it through. So first off, now you can kind of see so that you can move forward in the future, so that you can mess around with this. What in the world? You can see that all I had to do was add a command here, add the name of the function, and make it do something. So if you want to add even another one, just copy this. Like simply copy this, yank, paste. Maybe we want a new one down here. Maybe we want to call one called, you know, convert. Maybe we want to, remember I said Skynet initiate. Maybe we want that says initiate, and maybe we want it to say Skynet is now initiating. The app part is that Cli uses something called Decorators. It's a decorator. I'm not gonna get Decorators right now because we're already really short on time, but take a look at it. Like Google, you know, like after this is over, maybe watch a video on Python decorators. Python's not the only thing with decorators, but take a look at Python decorators. It's just how Cli is kind of set these things up. I don't think any of the other tools use decorators actually. But yeah, initiate. So that's now initiating. Sure. So now if I do this, I do have to reinstall it again. Dash editable. So now if I do Skynet, we got convert. Hold on. Now it's not giving me the new one. Why is it not giving me initiate now? This is gonna bother me. This is gonna bother me a lot. I rebuilt. Okay, I don't know why it's not giving me. This is gonna bother me. This feels like, what just happened? This feels problematic, but it's okay. Let's see if when we actually make changes to this, if it helps. So don't worry about the second command right now. That should be all you have to do. I probably work that part probably works for you and just not me, because you know that's how things are working for me right now. I don't know if that works for anyone else. Can you check to see? That should work to give you a new command, but that's fine. We don't need that. What we can do right now though is add some options to this. So we can set up different things here. So one, we can tell it to take in different stuff. Does it X after one command? Yeah, it X's after one command. Just because of the way we've built it, we haven't. All we're telling it to do is print this stuff out. So yes, it exits after one thing, unless you write more code to do other things. So I see a lot options or option. And here is where you can tell it to do certain things. So I can pass in a command that says, hey, we want to convert a temperature. So maybe I want you to pass in something called temp. And I can set a couple things. I can set a type. So this needs to be an integer because it's, you know, I'm expecting a number and I want people to know that it's an integer. And I can also pass in some information about the help command. I can say what this is so that people know what it is this is the temperature that you want to convert. All right, and so maybe we want something like this as our CLI option. And so what this is gonna do is now if we do a Skynet help, we do a Skynet convert help, it should add some extra helper text. And why it is not updating at all. I wonder, obtaining file already satisfied. Maybe I can update pip again, but it's not updating any of the code. Let's try, I guess. Is this working for anyone else? I wonder what's wrong here with my system. And pip 3. Is it? I think it's Python dash pip 3. No? Okay. This is really bothering me. Maybe you're gonna do one decorator. No, you can definitely do multiple decorators for sure. You can definitely do multiple ones. Because that's how this works for Click. We can even go look at the Click documentation. This is bothering me so much. Like even in their example, you know, you can have your Click options just like this. But it's like mine is just not updating. What's up, A-Trax? Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for to start the command with Python 3. I guess so. But then it's not working as a module for me. But that makes, I can try that. Can't find main module in Skynet. Yeah. But I could probably do that for, like, if I call the actual file, it probably, so I do think it is that. But why only after the virtual env and the install did it work? Restarting the terminal helps. So maybe let me try going into a new one. All right, so if I go into a new one, I go into the terminal. I'm no longer in the same virtual env, so now I have to source that again. Source it again, and let's do this again, and let's run Skynet. Okay, this feels better. It at least gives us an error. Group object has no attribute option. Let's see what that is. Actually, okay, help convert. I wonder, so let me see something. Let me see if I pull this away, the thing that I just added, let me see if I have any problems. Okay, all right, this is making me feel better, like it might be working now. All right, so if I add this back in, I'm gonna add it back in, and I'm gonna remove everything except for, let's actually just remove, let's just do something like this. Whoa. Let's just type int, and we'll do Skynet and convert -- help. There's no attribute option. Huh. Do I have to do... I really think my Python's on... Oh, nope. Nope, it's this. There we go. It's not CLI, it's click, and it is help. And you set the helper text, the temperature you want to convert. All right, this did not go smoothly at all, but it's fine. It's completely okay. And I didn't end it. Oh my gosh. Now in my haste, I'm making all types of extra mistakes. Here we go. All right, here we go. So now if you do Skynet convert dash help, because we added in those options now, it's now giving us help with these options. It's saying, hey, temperature is something you can pass in as an integer, and the temperature, it tells us a little helper text of, hey, this is the temperature that we want to convert. It took us a long time to get there. Really annoying. I'm going to remove this first line up here. So you can add in multiple things like that. So real quick, we're only going to do, since we're already over time, we'll do one temperature conversion really quick. We won't do all of them. And so maybe we want to do something like, what else do we need? We need to tell people, if you want to convert a temperature, you need to give the temperature, and you need to tell what you want to convert it to. So we need to be able to tell what we have and what we're going to. So we'll just do something dumb like, we'll take this line, we'll take this exact line right here, we'll yank it, we'll paste it, we'll say this option is actually conversion, or we'll call this one units. And this one's going to be a string instead. And we're going to say the units of your temperature and what you want it converted to. Sure. So I don't know. This wouldn't be the best way to write an application like this, but a command line tool could work like this. So maybe we could say, hey, pass in a temperature of 50 degrees. And maybe we can put in, you know, for units, we can put in something like, we can put some helper text in here to say like, all right, to go from Fahrenheit to Celsius, we would do F2A or something like that. I don't know, kind of dumb, but it works. So maybe we'll go with that. And then we would have to handle that. So right now we need to take two things. So we can take in the temperature here, and we can take in the units. And then for here, just so we can see some stuff, let's just print out F. Let's just print out, so you can see it, temp and units, just so we can see that things are getting passed in properly. We can set it up a little bit like this, start to just do some simple Python now. And we'll run it again, Skynet convert, temp is going to be 50, and we're going to say the units again are F2A or something like that. So Fahrenheit to C to Celsius. And we got a string literal here because I did not do this. String is not defined. Name, maybe that's not a type. That's fine. We can remove this. This is all stuff that's coming from the Cli package, which again, I don't have a lot of experience with, very little actually. And so it lets us know that 50 and F2C. So now we can actually use that. I just want to make sure everything was coming through properly. I'm going to delete this. So the way that we would convert something like this is we say, cool, we're gonna take that in and we need to check to see what it is. So we're gonna say if units equals, let's see, F2C, so Fahrenheit to Celsius. Then all we're gonna do is we're gonna return, or we're gonna print out, I don't know the conversion here. Let's do it. Fahrenheit to Celsius. It is 32 degrees. Oh no, it's so it's whatever you pass in minus 32 times 5/9. Okay, so let's add that into our code really quick. Minus 32 in parentheses times 5/9. So hold on, let's do that. So print, maybe let's calculate it first, just so it's on separate lines, just so it's a little more clear. And we're gonna say new temp equals 30 temperature minus 32 times 5 divided by 9. All right, and then we can just print out something like this. We can say if we can print out something like temp degrees Fahrenheit is equal to new temp degrees Celsius. Sure, something like this, some fancy output. So what it's going to do first is it's only going to do this particular conversion. It's only going to do this particular conversion if the units that are passed in are the Fahrenheit to Celsius function. And so let's see if this works really quick. And so we'll do that exact same thing. And invalid syntax for units. If units equals F to C, that is simply because I did not put a colon, syntactical errors. And look at that, 50 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 10 degrees Celsius. We also know, let's make sure this is working correctly, 32 degrees Fahrenheit should be 0 degrees Celsius, and it is in fact. And we also know that 212 degrees Fahrenheit, or yeah, 212, is that the boiling point of water, should be 100 degrees Celsius. Boom, I remember a little bit of math class. So great. We have a working Fahrenheit to Celsius calculator, but you know, it's incomplete. And so maybe that's something, I'm gonna push this code in a second. Maybe that's something you can go on to make it better. Maybe you can handle the units better. Maybe you can put in better help text, you know, flesh out the Celsius to Fahrenheit. Maybe you want to go Fahrenheit to Kelvin. Maybe you want to go Kelvin to Celsius. Like maybe you want to do all of those things. Maybe there's a completely better way to do this, but what it does show you is that, hey, yeah, this little bit of code here will set up a command line option for this. You can literally copy this, well, everyone else except for me, because my setup is being weird, can copy this and can create a whole new command that does something completely different. So I just want you to play with it. I want you to take a look at it. I'm going to push the code, play with it, see what you can get it to do, see what you can get Skynet to do. I have some ideas about what I want to throw in here and just have an app, you know, a command line application on my computer that does a bunch of random stuff. But yeah, that's what you can do with it. So what I want, tangible takeaways for today, is that one, CLI applications are just applications that are you can only interface with from the command line via text only. We learned that, hey, there's some easy ways to kind of create them by simply, you know, putting whatever the interpreter needs to be at the very top with that shebang and writing our code. And if we move it to a place that's along our path and make it executable, it can run as a command line tool. But it doesn't give us a lot of the cool things that we want. We learned that there are different frameworks and libraries for each of the different languages. A lot of them have them. Choose your favorite language, Google it, say, hey, you know, Ruby CLI tool creator or something, and there probably will be a framework to help you do it. They're all different. They're all, you know, they all have their own level of complicatedness, and you know, you should be able to try to get that in and see what you can do with it. It gives you a lot of cool boilerplate things. The boilerplate code that I just gave you, it works. So I'm actually not going to push this to the master branch because I want you to keep that boilerplate around. Actually, I'm going to label that as boilerplate for people forever if you want to create some simple command line applications. I'm going to push this to a branch that you can grab, and I'll call this the converter branch or something. And let's actually unlink test really quick. Test. Oh man. And yeah, and we'll push everything else really quick besides the test M. So let's is git gone? ls-la. Okay. Git status. First off, git checkout -b. I'll call this temp converter. And status. git add. I'm only gonna add Skynet CLI.py because that's all we changed. All the rest doesn't matter. Git commit -m added Fahrenheit. I never remember how to spell Fahrenheit to Celsius converter, and git push -u temp converter. All right, so if you want to take a look at this, why git push? Oh, I wonder if it's because vim.git. I wonder if I SSH cloned it. .git config. No, that looks good. Why can I not push vim? Appreciate that. All right, get on out of here. Everyone have a great night. I'm just gonna get this pushed up for you so that you can do it. Why won't it let me push -u origin temp converter? That'll do it. All right, it's there now. You can compare, you can take a look at it, see what you can do with it. Just again, play with it, don't be afraid of it, see what you can do with it. There are a lot of options. Check out the Cli documentation to see if you can try out anything else, because there's a lot of stuff that you can do with it. I am going to get my Python environment set up so that we can that was weird. That was really weird because that was weird because before we started, I ran what my final code was, like that I had created a while ago, and it worked. But that same thing happened in the virtual environment the very first time. So very interesting. I will work out my issues because again, I haven't used this computer in a little while, and we'll be ready to go next time. So first, actually, let me look at what we're doing next time. This will be back on Tuesday. Academy.mastermind.io/decoded. All right, next time we are, come on Notion, you're slow. I might have to start exporting this in HTML next week. Oh, perfect. Next week we're doing all the building applications for the web stuff and all of the APIs. So next week we'll be doing primarily JavaScript, Node. We'll primarily be doing Node next week. Yeah, primarily Node. We might do a little Go next week as well, because they have a good API framework that we might want to check out as well. So yeah, so come ready for that. We'll learn a little bit about how the web works, and we'll build some APIs. We'll actually be building APIs. We'll learn how to interact with APIs. We'll learn, understand how to structure JSON data and API keys, all that stuff. We'll learn how to do it, and we'll make some cool APIs that we can use forever. We're actually gonna spin up an API that we can use for this course for however long we are running Decoded courses. So that's it. I'll see you next week. Let's find out who we're gonna raid tonight. And actually, I need to do this from my other computer. Oh man, this double computer setup is gonna be a problem. Let's see. Who in the world is even online? Oh, let's actually, Alt F4 is still online? He's been on for a long time, 4 hours and 57 minutes. Okay, we're gonna go over, he's probably leaving, but we're gonna head over to Alt F4 stream. Great guy. We'll say hello to the Alt F4 stream. Absolutely Zero Frost, thank you so much for coming through. Appreciate the love and the support. Sorry we ran into some local environment issues, but that's the nature of development. That's the nature of tech, period. I probably should have worked out beforehand, should have known better, but got bit by the, you do it long enough, you're like, I'm good, I'll be fine. Didn't even check it out, and so that is my bad. Next time we'll get that worked out for sure, because I know your time is important. My time is important too, and I didn't want to fight with that for as long as we fought with that. Cool. But everyone have a great weekend. Really enjoy your weekend. Come back out Monday for pipelines. If you want to come back out for pipelines, we are diving into building development environments and understanding the CI/CD process. We're actually going to be building these pipelines, dev environments, understanding all that stuff, and it's going to be pretty darn fun. So let's get out of here in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Fun little note is this effect. I talked to someone on a call today, someone brand new I just met for the first time with this effect on, and they did not tell me that it was on. So good luck. Everyone have a great day, evening, weekend. I'll see you all later.